Welcome to video 64, summer of 1714. This is the United Provinces campaign and Empire Total War, fought on hard. If you remember, we abandoned the fort because the British had attacked Paris, and if I was in that port I'd be too close to Paris, I'd end up dragged into the action, so I moved away. The British were defeated in their attack on Paris, and then retreated. They were attacked again by the French, and the British were all but annihilated. I'm now damaging the building as I go in towards the fort to take it back over again, and with these troops here in the northwest, I'm going in and out of their building again to continually destroy it the way that I'm doing my best to wreck the French economy. Doing the same with these down here. In the where would that be? That'd be the southwest, wouldn't it, of France? So we're wrecking 3 buildings at the moment. We're already wrecked 2 ports that we're keeping hold of as well. The British are still next to us. I need to sort out what I'm going to do about that. If the British just stand there, that won't be such a harm, because they could benefit me if anybody does attack. Just check the taxes in Europe, just see if I can improve things. It's always worth getting a bit of extra income if you can. Looking at the overall situation here in Europe, just to find out what the best way to go is. If you remember, some time ago Württemberg declared war on me. They haven't done much about that. Westphalia is still sitting around there in force, doing nothing, still at peace. I'm thinking about a couple of Dragoons now. Let's see if I can build up some Dragoons. We've got the carbines now for horses. That's a technology which enables us to get Dragoons. Dragoons will help us settle areas, you know, like Alsace-Lorraine, that might want to be improved, or in the future perhaps even taking Paris. Okay, over to Ceylon now, just to check that. Everything seems fine over there at the moment. We're looking to secure the whole area so we can then develop some better buildings. And also some, I meant some industrial buildings. I've not actually done it yet because the fortress isn't built yet, although I am feeling a little bit safer there, a little bit more happy. Taxes are very high anyway, so I can't change those there at the moment. Okay, back to the Americas, just checking what's going on. Those are the British that went for Mexico that we looked at a moment ago. If you remember, because the British were going for Paris, that left Martinique at risk. It would turn back to piracy if the French were removed from the game. And that's that French fleet, if you remember. I'm working towards getting that. I didn't know what size it was. I can have a look now. It's just a couple of sloops and a brig by the look of it, or a couple of brigs and a sloop. But, anyway, they're going to be a nice easy target. They are. Not great prize money, but I might make 1,200 out of them, so that should be good. Right, this is the infantry unit, regular infantry, and the artillery that I'd raised to attack Martinique. The idea was that if it did turn to piracy, I'd recruit some more troops and take the artillery in there to help me out. If I'm attacking a place with lots of pirates in it, as I explained in the previous video, they're good at melee combat, so I'd want to be battering down their buildings, really. Anyway, I have checked Martinique, and the only thing that's in there is a couple of Phylocarm citizenry from the look of it. You can see that sort of dark shade on that that grid next to the flag itself. If you were to count those, you'd see there's only 2. If they were bright yellow, you'd know they were troops that had been raised by that faction. These are just Phylocarm citizenry. If there are no spaces filled on there, it means there's nothing in. That's why every time you look at Paris, you can see all that sort of grey area all the way up the side of the flag, so it's absolutely full of Phylocarm citizenry. So I'm landing in the port here first. The French have left, of course, and they've attacked my place, so I'm going to go and get them afterwards. But taking their port means I've got access across all the islands. So by moving into the port area, I can then disembark my artillery and my infantry, and I can charge straight across there to Martinique. I wasn't sure what the AI would do with this in terms of an auto-resolve, with it being 2 against 2 effectively. So I fought this battle, but it's such a dull battle I'm not going to show it here really. It's spending ages blowing up one building and blowing up another, and him getting out and getting out again. It's about half an hour, 40 minutes of blowing up different buildings until eventually I defeat him. So I just brought that up to a summary there. I've moved the fleet towards the French, of course, so we can go for them. So I'm hoping to get them next turn. Just improve the buildings in Martinique, take it down to a 0 taxes. Very small revenue anyway, that's why I didn't go for the place in the first place anyway. So the little cross in the left hand corner there, that's the that's a trade route raided from the turn, from the last turn. So I need to just sort of click on that and get that off the screen first. There we go. So if they stay there, blockading that port, because they're blockading my trade, you said blockading my trade from the Americas, then I'll have them. It's not a very good trade, by the way, from that trading port. It's about 500 a turn or something. It's not something I want to happen, but I'm stuck with it, I'm afraid. Here's that gentleman that appeared, miles away from anywhere, so I'm hoping to join these two actions up. So we'll attack the French fleet and also put the gentleman on board and get him off too. Just looking over there now to see where the training establishment is. It's probably just a school, I think, still. Okay, just a quick last check of what's going on in Europe, just to see if I've missed anything. Yeah, that's not fully damaged this time. I only went through it with my army in order to go to the fort. I won't have enough movement now to go in and out of that to completely wreck it, but at least we've taken something out of it. And here we go, last check on Ceylon. I usually end up with Ceylon, just as a double check. See what else I can get on here. I've got some money left over. So there we go. Well, what I'm looking at is improving the recruitment rate there, really. I can only get 1 a turn at the moment, so that will enable me to get an extra one. So it's all planning for the future as well, of course. Building my army for attacking mainland India, really, sometime in the fairly distant future, to be honest. But there are some big Maratha fleets around there, so I do need to be careful. It's looking good though now. The fortress is almost built. I've got enough men in it now, probably to defend it. So I should be okay there. The British are doing me favours again. Good lads. Might be losing, but they're taking them on. Yeah. Reducing the Maratha sea power. It's about the 3rd action in the last few turns I've seen them fight against the Marathas. So it's like me sort of inflicting casualties on the Marathas without actually fighting them myself, which is great. And also I can trade with them. You might have noticed on the trade screen earlier, I'm getting about 1900 a turn from the Marathas, which is why I can't afford to go to war with them. Which is why I want to deter them from declaring war on me by strengthening Ceylon, you see. Okay, the British are going near to a port. How do we get out of here? This place is dangerous. Yeah, welcome to the Dutch life, mate. Okay. Here's Austria. And then through Spain. And I'll stop it after this one, after Spain. Because the other nations are fairly irrelevant. I do get to look at them, so if anything did happen of significance I would show them, of course. These Spanish in Pueblo territory, or just below it, who just seem so keen all the time on attacking the Pueblo territories, which is Texas. I just think they're mad, but it's got this Alamo mentality or something, I really don't know. Anyway, coming to the end of this this turn, the Barbary pirates are asking for a peace treaty, which I'm going to snap their hands off, of course. And there's the end of the turn.